So amines will be a primary amine where it will be at least at least two hydrogens. A secondary amine will be only one hydrogen. Or tertiary amine will be having no hydrogens, right? Isn't it? This thing we have to know, right? Now come to the part we have to know that when we talk about amines, how to name an amine, right? Amines have to be named in a common name and in the IUPAC name also, right? Phenylamine you are seeing, because amines, if you see that amines, this is the main functional group we are having, and a phenyl group is attached. Don't remember one thing: phenyl group is having carbon and hydrogen, right? In our year 12 sessions, we learned that if we have got a carbon chain, right, carbon hydrogen hydrocarbon chain, hydrocarbon, only hydrocarbon chain, right, that becomes non-polar, right? You extend the chain, the non-polar chain increases, right? Did it fine? So always remember that whenever having a where chain increased, the intermolecular force of attraction will increase, right? Clear? It will increasing, right? Hmm. So when the intermolecular force of attraction, which intermolecular force of attraction? The London dispersive forces will increase, right? Isn't it? When the London dispersive forces increases, the melting point and boiling point will increase too, right? So just learn this, that if you are going from methylamine to ethylamine to propylamine, right, to butylamine, right, to pentylamine, right, you'll be seeing that the London dispersive forces will increase, right? Now moving to this part, we have to know a very important part, that whenever we are going to see amine, how to name amine. See, this is dimethyl amine. Better to write N comma N dimethyl amine, right? Now, if you have got a amine like this, so it is N comma N comma N. Where is the attachment? N. Right? To write down the where it attached, right? Isn't it? You can have this also, right? You can have this instead of this. You could have had this also, right? Isn't it? Hmm. So to mention that where is the nitrogen, where is the group attached with, right? Thank you so much. Now we discussed about this, that if you have got a amine will be having a lone pair of electron, which won't be shown in your exam paper, right? This is a common exam, sorry, common trick which they do. They don't show the lone pair of electron. So how many electron domains are there in this nitrogen? Four electron domain. Four electron domain will be tetrahedral, right? Tetrahedral, and thus it will be what? It will be having 109.5. Now there's a lone pair of electron which reduces the angle by 2 to 3 degrees. It will be 107, right? Remember this thing, huh? And it will be trigonal pyramid, right? You have to remember this, huh? So it's very easy. If you know we have to know the theory of the year 12 sessions, right? So it'll be trigonal pyramidal, right? Now a very important portion we have to learn about is the thing that we learned, that if hydrogen is connected to phon, right? Again, I'm going to the bonding chapter of year 12. If hydrogen is connected to phon, it will be having a strongest intermolecular force of attraction, such as hydrogen bonding, right? Indeed, hydrogen bonding. So this will be very crucial. If you have got a amine, it will be having hydrogen bonding. Now amines will be always compared with a corresponding alcohol, right? So in our year 12 we learned that for hydrogen bonding, hydrogen is necessary, okay, but this hydrogen will be forming an attraction with a lone pair of electron, right, in the neighboring amine, right? So you need hydrogens also, but lone pair of electrons is also be there, right? Number of lone pairs of electron per molecule. If you see H2O,
I'm Boxer.
yeah, thank you so much. So I was discussing with that if you see whenever we are seeing a amine will be having four electron domains over here. Understood? Lone pair won't be shown, right? Lone pair won't be shown, Mohammed, right? So be very sure. So there is four electron domain. Four electron domain will be tetrahedral 109.5. But see, there's a lone pair of electrons. This reduces the angle by 2 to 3 degrees, right? A recap of our year 12 sessions. It will be 107, right? Isn't it? Now, if you see, this is 107, right? So it will be called as trigonal pyramidal, right? Now, next part is that if you see, when we talk about the amines we learned in our year 12 sessions, that if any molecule, if hydrogen is connected to phon, right? Fluorine or oxygen or nitrogen, right? It will be having what? It will be having hydrogen bonding, right? Isn't it? That's we learned, right? It will be having the strongest attraction forces called as hydrogen bonding, right? Now, if for hydrogen bonding, we discussed about that. Let's see if you see amines, suppose ammonia, and suppose water, right? Can you write down that which will be having more hydrogen bondings, ammonia or water? Just send me a message. Quickly send me a message. Just a recap. Don't worry. Send me a one-on-one message. It'll be better, right? Which will be having more hydrogen bondings? Yes, water, right? Why? Because we need hydrogen which will be attracting lone pair of electron, right? Of the neighboring H2, right? You need more you need more hydrogen, but we need accompanying lone pair of electrons also, right? In ammonia or in amines, the greatest challenge is that ammonia has got a one lone pair of electron, right? Whereas if you see alcohol, similar to water, right, it has got two lone pairs of electron. So alcohol will be having more hydrogen bonding, which is available there, right? So that's a very good A star question which comes in A level side, isn't it? Now moving to this part, we have to know that if you see that if you take a amine and a corresponding alcohol, so the alcohol will be having more hydrogen bonding due to more amount of lone pair of electron on this oxygen, right? Thus the boiling point jumps significantly, right? Now we now have to know about this fact that when we see a amine, if we are going from methyl to ethyl to propyl to butylamine, so the carbon chain will increase, right? Carbon chain will increase. When the carbon chain increase, what happens? The London dispersive forces will be increasing. This is a non-polar chain, right? Which contributes to the London dispersive forces. This amine part will be attracting with another amine, right? By dipole, right? By permanent dipoles, right? This. But this portion will be, if you increase it, it will be increasing the attraction forces by London dispersive forces. So if you see methylamine or ethylamine, they will be gases at room temperature, right? Isn't it? Fine, number one. Now, next part is that if you see, when we talk about the longer chain, as we increase the chain length, just I told you, the London dispersive forces will increase. When the London dispersive forces increases, what happens? You'll be seeing that it will be very, very important that they will be liquids at room temperature, right? Isn't it? Fine. This is very important, right? Fine. So if you see that longer chains will be liquids, right? But not strong enough, the bonds will be the intermolecular forces. So they will be volatile liquids and they will be fishy smell, right? So when a fish dies, right, and not properly taken care, refrigerated, right, or meat, they will be decomposing. The proteins decomposes. Proteins contains amide linkages. Proteins are polymers of amides. They will be decomposing to give you amines, right? And they'll be having a fishy smell. Now, solubility of the amines. Now, solubility will be a different concept, right? Similar to the alcohols, right? If you see, whenever we are dissolving anything in water, right? First, what it does, water hydrogen bonding network should be broken by that solute. You note down this, right? Water hydrogen bonding network should be broken. This hydrogen bonding should be broken over here, right? Broken. It should be broken. The network. When the network breaks, what happens when the network breaks? We'll be seeing that they has to again this water individual water has to form a intermolecular force of attraction with the, suppose I'm taking alcohol, right? With the alcohol, right? In it, this side. Now we learned in our A levels, AS level, like dissolves like, you can write down like dissolves like, right? So if you see a alcohol or a amine, right? See, I'm drawing an amine, the same concept will be there, right? This part, if you see, wait, this part, if you see, this is the non-polar tail. Is it clear to you? Non-polar tail. Is it clear? And this is the polar head. Water will be able to associate, will be attracted with the polar head. But water cannot be associated with the non-polar tail of the alcohol or the amine, right? Clear to you? Understood? The non-polar tail I'm circling with red. So if you increase the number of chains, right? If you increase the number of chains, what happens? The solubility will decrease for amines as well as for alcohols, right? Isn't it? Why? Because the non-polar tail increases, right? Thus, the maximum amount of the molecule will be in the undissolved state. The percentage of the molecule will be in the undissolved state, right? Clear? Did you get my point over here, right? So that's a very important portion we have to know. Now going to this part, we have to know that when we talk about this portion, right? When you talk about this portion of this, we have to know another important part, right? Which is called as what? Which is called as the reactivity. So see, so the answer is what? If you go from ethylamine, methylamine, they will be soluble, right? But we go further. You're going to butylamine, pentylamine. The the chain length increases, so water won't be able to associate with the non-polar part, right? Thus, they won't be dissolved. If you take phenylamine, right? See, six carbons are there. See, six. So this is a huge non-polar part, right? And maximum of the molecule, almost 60% of the molecule won't be able to dissolve in the water, but this will be dissolving only. So thus, phenylamine is not soluble, right? Now come to the part, now we're going to the part of the reactivity of the amines. If you see the reactivity of the amines, we have to know the important rules of the acid bases. The first acid basis says that Bronsted-Lowry acid basis theory, right? What does Bronsted-Lowry acid basis tells you? Bronsted-Lowry acid basis tells us that acid is a proton donors, and a base is a proton acceptors, right? There's a Lewis acid base theory. I don't know whether this has been done in a school or not, but you have to learn this. Lewis acid basis theory tells you that acid is a lone pair acceptor. You can write down this. A base is a lone pair donor, right? Isn't it? So if you think amines will be fitting both into the Bronsted-Lowry as well as the Lewis theory, because amines has got a lone pair of electron, right? Isn't it? This lone pair of electron forms a coordinate bond, right, with the hydrogen atom, right? Isn't it? Thus, it will be acting as a base. Also, you can tell about the Bronsted-Lowry to define this, that amines are proton acceptors, right? So Bronsted-Lowry proton acceptors are bases, right? Now, we learned about nucleophiles. Nucleophiles are those which are attracted to the nucleus, right? Isn't it? So nucleophiles will be having themselves in lone pair of electron or OH minus, sorry, negative ions. So they will be acting as a nucleophile. Now, having said this, see, they're telling you this question, right? Draw the structural formula of trimethylamine, right? So trimethyl, so CH3, 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 right? They're saying that dimethylamine will be a solid, liquid, or gas at room temperature, right? So dimethylamine will be a gas, isn't it? Isn't it? We have to learn that dimethylamine will be a gas at room temperature, right? Isn't it? Fine. Okay. Because we learned that if the carbon chain increases, right, of the amine, more intermolecular force of attraction will be there, right? So one or two carbon or three carbon, the amines will be gases at room temperature, right? And on top of it, if you have got a branching in the carbon chain, that will be restricting the two chains from coming closer. Is it clear to you, right? The two chains won't come closer, right? Isn't it? Fine. Thus, it will be having lesser intermolecular force of attraction, right? Clear? So that was all about what? That was all about the of your portion of your introduction to amines, right? Of your A levels. Hmm?